Think about the last time you really laughed. Not a polite little chuckle. The real thing. The kind that bends you double and steals your breath and makes your face ache and your eyes stream until you are gasping and wheezing and completely helpless. And someone only has to look at you to set you off all over again. It feels like one of the most human things you can possibly do. And it is. But here is the strange part. That helpless, breathless, barking noise you make. It is far, far older than you. Older than your language. Older than your city, your country, your alphabet. Older, in fact, than the human species itself. When you laugh, you are not doing something new. You are making one of the most ancient sounds any creature on this planet has ever made. So here is the question, and it is a surprisingly deep one. When did ancient humans first laugh? And really, underneath that, why do any of us laugh at all? What is this weird, involuntary whooping noise? Where on earth did it come from, and what was it for? Because make no mistake, laughter is weird. Stop and actually listen to it. It is a strange, rhythmic, panting bark. Ha 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 ha, that bursts out of us whether we want it to or not. You cannot truly force a real one, and you cannot easily stop a real one. It hijacks your breathing, your face, your whole body. It is one of the only things you do that is almost completely outside your control. And every single human being on earth does it, in every culture, in every language, the same way. A baby born deaf and blind, who has never seen or heard another person laugh, will still laugh. This is not something we learn. It is something we are born already knowing how to do, which is a very big clue that it is very, very old. So let's follow that clue back, much further back than you might expect, because the astonishing truth is that laughter did not begin with humans at all. Go to a zoo or a research center and very gently tickle a young chimpanzee, and it will do something that will stop your heart. It will pull back its lips, and it will pant. A breathy, rhythmic huffing sound, in and out, while it squirms and play wrestles and comes back for more. It is laughing. Gorillas do it. Orangutans do it. Bonobos do it. All of our closest ape cousins, when they are tickled and when they play, make a laughter of their own. Scientists have recorded it and mapped it and traced it. And the laughter of an ape and the laughter of a human are clearly, unmistakably, two branches of the very same ancient sound. There is even a fingerprint of that shared history in the sound itself. When an ape laughs, it huffs both as it breathes out and as it breathes in. A fast, raw, two-way panting. Human laughter has been smoothed into something a little neater. We mostly laugh only on the outbreath, in those tidy little bursts of ha ha ha. Line the two up, and you can almost watch evolution at work. The ragged panting of the ape, gradually shaped over millions of years into the chopped, chanted, unmistakable laugh of a human being. Same instrument, same ancient tune, just a slightly different arrangement. And it goes deeper still, because it is not just the apes. Take a rat, an ordinary rat, and tickle it on its back and its belly, the way another rat would during play, and it will chirp. High, fast, ultrasonic chirps, far too high for us to hear without special equipment, that scientists have come to recognize as something remarkably like laughter. The rats even chase the hand that tickles them, begging for more, exactly like a child crying, "Again, again." The scientist who first uncovered this spent years patiently tickling rats and found that the youngest ones chirped the most, that they formed bonds with the hand that played with them, and that a rat you tickled today would come scampering over to you tomorrow, hoping for more. Play, and the laughter that flags it as play, turned out to be wired into the oldest, deepest, most primitive layers of the mammal brain. The very same machinery still humming away inside you. If a rat can laugh, then this thing is not thousands of years old, or even hundreds of thousands. It is tens of millions of years old, It is one of the oldest emotional signals in the entire history of animals with backbones. We did not invent laughter. We inherited it. So if we did not invent it, then the real question changes. It is no longer, when did we start laughing? It is, what was laughter for, back at the very beginning, long before there was ever such a thing as a joke? And the answer is beautiful, and it is play. Watch any young animal at play, puppies, kittens, cubs, children, and you will see the same thing. They wrestle, they chase, they bite and pounce and tumble over each other in a rough, tangled heap. And play fighting has a problem built into it. It looks almost exactly like real fighting. The same teeth, the same grabbing, the same rolling on the ground. So how does a young animal in the middle of a wild tumble tell its playmate this is not a real attack? I am not actually trying to hurt you. This is fun, keep going? It needs a signal. A flag it can wave in the middle of the chaos that means we are only playing. And that signal, the scientists believe, is laughter. Listen to laughter and you will hear it for what it really is. The sound of breathing, chopped into pieces. It is the panting of a body in the middle of physical play turned into a signal. The first laugh in the history of the world was not a response to anything clever. It was a young animal, tumbling with another, going ha 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 to say a single vital thing. This is safe. We are playing. Do not be afraid. Come back and do it again. Now hold on to that idea, laughter as a signal of safety and play, because it explains almost everything strange about the way we still laugh today. Here is the first strange thing. We mostly do not laugh at jokes. If you actually record people's conversations and count, you find that the huge majority of laughter has nothing to do with anything funny at all. People laugh after ordinary lines like, "I know, right?" Or, "Where have you been?" Or, "Look who it is." We laugh to connect, to smooth things over, to say, "I am with you, I like you, we are okay." Laughter is not really a response to comedy. It is a social glue. And we are wildly more likely to laugh when we are with other people than when we are alone. Many times more likely. Laughter at its core is something we do together. And think about what that meant for an ancient human. Picture a small band around a fire tens of thousands of years ago. Life is hard and frightening, and every day is a fight to survive. And then someone slips or pulls a face or says the wrong word, and the laughter starts. And it spreads from one person to the next, around the whole circle, until the entire band is helpless and breathless and wiping their eyes together in the firelight. In that moment, something invisible but enormous is happening. That shared laughter is knitting them together. It floods their brains with the same warm chemicals that painkillers tap into. It lowers their guard. It says, without a single word, "We are one group. We trust each other. We are safe here together." For a fragile band of humans whose survival depended entirely on sticking together, laughter was not a luxury. It was the glue that held the tribe as one. And researchers have actually measured this. Get a group of people genuinely laughing together, the helpless, breathless kind. And afterwards, test them, and their tolerance for pain has measurably gone up. Because that kind of laughter floods the body with its own natural opioids, the same family of chemicals as morphine. Laughter is, quite literally, a painkiller you brew with your friends. So for an ancient band huddled against the cold, worn down by hunger and injury and fear, an evening of shared laughter around the fire was a real dose of medicine. Free, endless, with no side effect, except that it also, quietly, bound them all more tightly together. Few things our ancestors ever found were that good for them. Which brings us to the second strange thing about laughter. It is catching. Desperately, helplessly catching. You have felt it. The giggle that spreads across a silent room until everyone is gone. The friend whose laugh sets you off every time. The way you can start laughing simply because someone else has, without even knowing what is funny. Laughter jumps from person to person like a yawn because our brains are wired to catch it. And that is not a bug. That is the whole point. A signal that says we are safe and together only works if it spreads. Ancient laughter was contagious for the same reason a fire spreads warmth, so that one person's sense of safety could sweep through the entire group and bind them all in an instant. Just how contagious can it get? In 1962, at a girls' school in what is now Tanzania, a few students started laughing and could not stop. The laughter leapt from girl to girl, then jumped the walls of the school entirely, spreading to other schools and then to whole villages in waves of helpless, uncontrollable giggling that came and went for months and swept up more than 1,000 people. Schools had to close their doors. And here is the eerie part. There was no joke. Nobody could say what was funny because nothing was. It was laughter behaving as exactly what it is underneath. A raw, contagious social signal, so deeply wired into the human animal that once it caught hold, it could roll through an entire region and refuse to let go. That is the ancient power hiding inside the thing you do every day without a second thought. And now think about the very oldest way we make each other laugh. The way that needs no words, no jokes, no language at all. Tickling. It is the first laughter every human being ever knows. Long before a baby can understand a single word, it will shriek with laughter when a parent tickles it, and reach out for more. Tickling is play made physical, the ancient game of mock attack. And it hides a genuine mystery, one you can test on yourself right now. You cannot tickle yourself. Try it. Nothing happens, because tickling only works as a game between two. A tiny, thrilling dance on the edge between threat and safety. Your body braced for an attack that it knows, deep down, is only play. Your own hand carries no surprise, no risk, no other person. And so there is no game and no laugh. Tickling is laughter stripped right back to its origin. Two creatures playing at danger and delighting in the safety of it. And laughter has a quieter cousin with a stranger past. The smile. We treat a smile and a laugh as two sizes of the same warm feeling, but they may have begun as near opposites. Many scientists think the smile grew out of an ancient primate grimace of fear, a nervous baring of the teeth that a weaker animal would flash at a stronger one to say, "Please, I mean no harm. Do not hurt me." A little flag of submission and peace. Laughter, meanwhile, came from the open-mouthed panting of play. Two ancient signals, one born from fear, one born from fun, that over millions of years drifted closer and closer together, until in us they finally fused into the single glowing thing we call a happy face. So when you smile at a nervous stranger to put them at ease, you are still, faintly, flashing that ancient flag of peace. And when you laugh with someone you love, you are still panting out the old rhythm of play. Your happiness is stitched together from two of the oldest social signals on Earth. But we are not chimpanzees, and we are not rats, and somewhere along the way, our laughter became something more. Because we grew a mind that could play not just with our bodies, but with ideas. And that changed everything. At some point, our ancestors learned to do with thoughts what they had always done with rough and tumble, to set up a little play fight of expectations, to lead you one way and then yank you another, to take something frightening and make it safe, or something serious and make it absurd. That surprising, harmless twist, the setup and the snap of a different ending, is the seed of every joke that has ever been told. You can even watch it switch on in a baby, long before a single spoken joke could ever land. Peekaboo. A loved face vanishes behind two hands, and the baby stills, gripped by a tiny flicker of worry. Is it gone? And then the face springs back, and the fear bursts apart into a shriek of pure delight. That is a joke in its most stripped-down primal form. A threat, set up, and then dissolved into safety. The oldest comedy on earth is a parent hiding behind their hands and coming back, and it has been making babies laugh for longer than we have had words to explain why. Humor is a kind of play, run inside the mind instead of on the ground. And once our ancestors had language, that play exploded. Now they could tickle each other with words. They could tease and mock and tell a story that ended somewhere nobody expected. The campfire became the first comedy club. And the same ancient laugh that once only meant we are wrestling and it is safe could now be set off by nothing more than a clever twist of words. And here is perhaps the strangest, most human turn of all. Because we do not only laugh when we are happy and safe. We laugh, sometimes hardest of all, when things are frightening or grim or forbidden. We laugh at funerals. We laugh in terror, in a nervous fit, at the exact wrong moment. We crack jokes in the middle of disasters. It looks bizarre, but it comes straight from laughter's ancient job. Laughter has always been the sound of, the danger is not real. We are still safe. So when life becomes almost unbearably tense, or sad, or terrifying, the oldest tool in our emotional kit reaches for the switch it has always known, and tries to laugh, to release the pressure, to insist through the fear. We are still here. We are still together. It is going to be okay. Gallows humor is not a modern coping trick. It is one of the most ancient comforts our species has. And notice one last thing about this ancient sound. It needs no translation. Drop yourself into any country on earth, among people whose language does not share a single word with yours, and you will still know, instantly, the sound of them laughing. You could not read their writing or follow their speech, but their laughter you understand completely, because it was never really part of any one language at all. It is older than every language on the planet. A traveler 10,000 years ago, stumbling upon a band of total strangers, could not have spoken to them. But a shared laugh would have told both sides, in a heartbeat, the single thing that mattered most. We are not enemies here. It may be the closest thing our whole species has to a truly universal word. And it is a word made of nothing but breath. So step back and listen to that helpless, breathless, barking sound one more time. It is not a small thing or a silly thing. It is one of the oldest signals in the living world. Older than our species, older than words, first made by tumbling animals millions of years ago to say, this is play, this is safe, come back. It is the sound our ancestors made around the fire to bind themselves into families and tribes, and to survive the dark together. It is a flood of ancient chemistry that eases pain and dissolves fear and stitches strangers into friends. And it lives in you, completely intact, exactly as it always was. Because here is the part that should stay with you. The next time you are with the people you love, and something sets you all off, and you are gasping and aching and helpless and cannot stop, remember what you are really doing. You are not just having a good time. You are speaking the oldest language there is, a language with no words, that everyone on earth understands, that we spoke before we could speak at all. You are sending the same signal a young ape sent in the trees 10 million years ago, and a small frightened band sent around a fire in the Ice Age, and every human who has ever lived has sent to the people they trust. You are saying, I am safe with you. We are together. And for this one bright, breathless moment, we are alive, and it is good. Thanks for watching. If you like the questions most people never stop to ask, subscribe, and stick around, because next time we are digging into another strange, forgotten corner of the world of ancient humans.